Today we're looking at lab number 4, heat transfer and the movement of air. So we have an apparatus in front of us in your notebook. One of the first things you're going to want to do, you're going to want to go ahead and you're going to draw a picture of this and label it. So make sure that you label, this is called a convection tube. This is a convection chamber. We just called this a tube, a funnel, and this is a tray. So make sure that you draw this in your notebook and label each of the different parts. One of the things that we're going to be doing as we look at the movement of air is we're actually going to be lighting what's called a punk. So this is a punk and it'll produce some smoke. And then we're going to catch the smoke here in our funnel and watch what the smoke does when it comes inside, especially see what happens when you get to the top here. So see if I can get this going today. So the more smoke, the better. So here you can see I've got a lit flame. I'm going to put that flame out and we're going to turn it just to smoke. So here's our smoke, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to work to catch the smoke inside here. I'm going to have to tip this down just a little bit so that it can do a better job of catching the smoke. A lot of it goes out. Oops. So we're really struggling to catch the smoke because you'll notice that most of the smoke is coming out of the funnel. Hopefully you can see that. And so we can see that the smoke, which is warm in temperature, is not interested in getting near our ice. So it's cold in there. In fact, it's about 21 degrees Celsius inside of our chamber right now. So the smoke's all coming out. Now we're going to change that here in just a second. And we're going to change, and inside here we're going to get rid of our ice. And we're going to switch over and we're going to put some hot water in there. So I'm going to go grab that hot water now. So it's a little more difficult to see, but the steam we can see is already coming out the top of the convection chamber. You can also see that the steam inside of our convection, it's coming out of the tube, and in our chamber, it's condensing on the outside there, or on the inside. Now let's see what happens when we try to add, again, our smoke. So hopefully you can see that, and you should be able to see that a large amount of the smoke from our punk is going into our chamber, kind of swirls around in here, but then it actually goes up that tube, and it goes up pretty quick. So compare that to how it reacted with the previous lab setup when we had the ice in there. So in order to complete this lab, again, here's my lab notebook, so for 4. So I've drawn each of them, and I've gone through and I've labeled. Then I've shown you kind of what the smoke does in each of those. So you'll notice that when we had the ice in there, very little smoke, if any, came out the top. For the second one, a large amount was coming out the top. I've got a couple of questions to answer, and you can just write these in your notebook and write the answers for them. Try to put that up as close as I can here. Each of those you'll notice is worth 2 points. Question number 1, what did the smoke or the air do in the chamber that held the ice? Number 2, what did the smoke or the air do in the chamber that held the hot water? And number 3, why do you think the smoke and the air in the 2 chambers behaved differently? So think about that. Think about what hot air does. Think about how air circulates to help you answer that question.